Welcome back. Here we are, episode 28. We are just going to be sleeping the day away here. Now, last episode, obviously, we took care of the new update. Thank heavens it wasn't a major setback, so we were able to fix everything. We did the tally for the costs of the repair. We have all of that all in that episode there, so we don't have to worry about that, which means we don't have to worry about March's costs. So that means if I just go into our financing here, right here. So now we're into April. So March is a complete cutoff. Actually, while we're here, we're just going to take this screenshot right now, and then we'll just take this screenshot down here right now. Perfect, right there. Now we still have more costs that are going to be incurred of the build for April. So that's why we've separated March. So March we can ignore. I did take screenshots from August when we started right up until this point. So now we can just continue on with the build. Now when it comes to the build for the add-ons, like when I kind of feel like I felt like I might have made it out like it was going to be a massive amount of add-ons, but it really isn't. The only thing I was thinking that I want to do for the actual farm, especially just because we do have some space, is I want to do the mushroom greenhouses because we didn't have those in 22, so I didn't technically plan for them. So what I want to do, so that's where. Hold on. Do we have everything on? Just want to make sure. Oh no, we don't. So on and on. Thank you. So now when it comes to the mushroom greenhouses, the reason why I'm going to be putting them up here is yes, they're all beside these greenhouses, but the other reason is I tried to keep the pallet work almost in one area, kind of, where we have all of our greenhouses. We've got our sheep with the wool, we've got our chickens with the eggs, and that's kind of like, and then also too, we have our supply here too, right? So if we do any kind of pallet work, it should be mainly, and our bees right there, mainly all right in this one little area. So now what we're going to do, because we have the medium and the large, so we have the large one. So the water goes in the back. Where does the pallet spawn? Let's try. Okay, we know what we're gonna do a little ring road anyways. So I'm hoping the pallets spawn on the side here, but we're gonna say overlaps does yes, but we want a little bit of a road, a little bit of a cut through. Free mode on, yes please. Snapping. Sure. Let's try right about there. Just you know what? We'll move it up just a little bit. Let's try there. Okay. On that side. In that case, what we can do is we're gonna push it back. So we're gonna take that back, and then we're gonna put it down again. Except we're gonna go a little bit further back. Not too much. It's gonna be a little tight, but I think we can do it. I hope we can do it. Let's try about there. Right there. So that'll be the one type of mushroom. And then what I'm thinking for this one is we could have the pallets maybe this way, and then the water there, and we can have a little tight. Pallets are gonna be sticking out a bit, so that's gonna be interesting. Oh, I don't know. Oh wait, okay. Let me think about that one. Because this is what I'm kind of worried about. We're getting the pallets out. Oh wait, I'm idiot. Hold on. What about? Can we just fit it like that? So if we put it with how about we do it like this? There we go. That's more gooder. Then that'll allow the truck. Yeah, there we go, Major. Now you're thinking. So what do we try? Let's go right there. Free mode on, everything on. Yes. Okay, so then we'll have our pallets coming out there, which means we're going to grab our fence, which is the American fence. Right, it is the one with the wire. We're at the bottom. Right there. So now snapping on. We're going to go. Will it allow us? Haha, I will too. So right there. Oh, man. Yep. perfect. How about we try that? And then this one, we'll have to do the opposite. So that'll get in the way of the crank. Whoa, 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 calm down. Oh, whoops. Where were we? We were there. And then we go here. Ah, right there. Let's try that. And that should be out of the way. It looks like the ground's in the way of the crank, too. All right. So that actually works out really nice. And then what we'll do is we'll just touch up around the edges there here shortly. Now, the second one, again, because I want to have one for each type because we do technically have 2 types of mushrooms, right? So large preferably. And we're going to have the pallets. Which side do we want the pallets on? We don't want it there. We still want the trailers to be able to get in and out. Oh, we can do a little. How about something like that? Let's try that. Overlaps, not anymore. And then it'll be a little tight, but that I still think will be doable. Still has a nice little roundabout or little section there to turn. And then should we have popped it in? We keep forgetting about those pallets here. So let's try this way a little bit. Then we'll go back. See if I can get kind of both entrances the same-ish. There, maybe. I like it. Let's try the fence. Right there, and we're gonna go right here again. Oh, yep. Let us. Oh no, that was in the concrete. How about, yeah, there we go. That's more gooder. Let's try right there. And then this side, technically we don't really need, yeah, we'll get rid of that. We don't really need it, but let's get you gone. Thank you. Then we'll grab you again. Let's put you right about, yeah, let's put you right about there. So then that should give a little bit. So hopefully nothing comes through. And then that also allows a good, like I said, a good decent amount of room so you can turn your trailer. Then it's going to be a little tight, but I kind of like that. We can grow that in. And then we're going to bring that, you know what, while we're right here, let's just get right to it. So here we're going to grab our grass. Oh yeah, we got the new grass again. Okay, we're going to keep with the base grass for now. Where were we here? Nope, that's the new stuff. And the base grass is that one. Let's put that in. Just kind of age. Again, just do the same thing as before, right? We're going to age it up. Grass here. And because everything else is already aged up and touched up, we don't really have to do very much. That's the kind of nice thing. Right there. And then the same thing for around here. You can do a little bit there. A little bit too much. That's okay. There. And same thing over here. Go back to our grass. Now the grass is a little different where you have your short and then I think this is your medium and it's kind of, yeah, I haven't gotten used to the new stuff there necessarily yet, but we don't want to go too much in, just a little bit. Long stuff in here. And then we'll do our short. Oh, calm down. Actually, sorry, medium. There we go. I think this is our medium. Yep, there we go. So this is our medium. Run that around. And then we'll grab our short. Oh, calm down. There we go, Major. Come on now. Let's fill it all in. It's there. Same thing over here. The short, we're just going to do short all the way around because that's just high traffic area, the way I would look at it. And then once the grass is in, then what we do is we just put those little touch-ups on the doors. That's the thing there, a little bit of grass there. Why not? Sure, why not? And then we go back to our paint and we get our base game dirt. And then I see the little doors here, so I'll just paint the door there. That in. And I think that's it for there. Technically, we could put one around all of them if we wanted there. And over here, yeah, sure, put one there. And then same thing, we got our little walkway there, so we'll go with that. Okay, that's it. That's all. That's actually, I think that's it. That's all. Just because when it comes to, yes, sorry, when it comes to the actual farm itself, we were pretty much there for the build. It was all about the expansion into everything else. So we've got everything down that we had the way we had it. We did put in the extra greenhouses and they fit. So that actually worked out that my spacing wasn't 100% perfect because these wouldn't have fit in 22, that's for sure. And then we've got our room there. And then from here, the only thing we have to do now, because we are at, let's just double check here. We are at 2,789 slots of 3,500. So I think we have a little bit of squiggle room there just to put some decorations in, and we're going to touch up a little bit of the bushes just now that it is fully grown and it's all like technically in bloom or have blossomed or is grown up, so we can see the bushes. That's one thing about wintertime and bushes, you can't see anything but the branches, right? So I'm going to put some bushes down. I'm going to slap some decoration down just because the decoration list is so long now that this isn't something that we do on camera. This is something that takes hours, and we just sit back and slap some decoration. So let me do that, and let me touch up the farm a little bit. Done and done, as far as I hope. Now, for the most part, we still have to. I've been worried. So we put some decorations down. We touched up some bushes. Got a couple little things here, down by the silage pit there. Some decorations there. Little decorations in the pen. I know we had those in 22, so I want to recreate that. Put some stuff in between, just kind of some clutter around there. And then I started concentrating on the shop. So what I did was we put in a bunch of clutter inside the shop, make it hopefully look like it's kind of come alive, hopefully. And then a little bit on the outside of the shop as well. Now, we didn't have too much here just because this is a spot where we were putting our weights usually, and a couple of the forks and implements. And then we have our decoration back on the backside here, a couple little things just kicking about. And then same thing over here. We just did a couple little trailer there, an old cultivator. And now we can hear them frogs here now that we're that time of the year, so that's kind of nice. So we got that, and it's pretty much I'm pretty much done because we're at 2,900 slots. So we're at 2,900 slots. I'm getting really worried about the slots. So we're going to hold off for right now. Now, we don't have everything just yet as well. So we're just going to do a quick little walk through here. So just nothing too crazy, but just a little something, right? Put a little something up and around and make it look like it's used and alive, right? So got that down, got our washer, got our repair, got all our basics down, got the spot to sit down. Hopefully those chairs come out so we can sit down and actually chill for a bit. And that's it. We got all of the decorations and that sort of stuff done. Let's just see here. So what we're going to do, because we can say for right now, right? So for right now, we're going to take one more screenshot here just because we're all done here, and then all the way to the bottom. And then right there. Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, we are at 2,900 slots, but we also have all of our equipment to take care of, so we don't have to worry. We have some buffer there. Now, the last thing we got to do is we got to take care of our fields. So I did go grab a screenshot. So here in 22, we have top right there, just below the sawmill, we have fields 49, 48 we have to buy, plus we have field 23 we have to purchase, and just above all of the main fields there, as well as 47 to the bottom left is 47 and 56. We need to pick those ones up. And then field 27 by the logging, like we don't own the sawmill, and that's for a reason, but we do own the land around the sawmill, so we'll have to buy all of that stuff. And back we are. So it turns out I got all screwed up because field 1, 4, 2, all that stuff, field 79 and 80 isn't there on 22. So I was thinking the field numbers are going to be different, but they're not. So field 49, need to buy that. So that's going to be first and foremost. We'll just start at the top here. 48, that's going to get purchased. Thank you very much. And the neat thing is look at that. It gives us the property too. So it looks like if we visit that, it doesn't give us any option to buy. And I don't see any icons or anywhere where we can purchase it. So that's good to know, because same thing when it comes to the property. We'll pick up 23 while we're zipping on by for 312,000 bucks. and over here. So 27, that gives us the lower. And then for the upper here, 33, we're going to buy that. Now that gives us all of that. So it is what it is. So we'll take it. So that's going to get purchased. And we don't want to buy the sawmill. And it says here we can buy it. So we don't want to buy it because in 22, we never bought it just because we have our own sawmill. What are we doing here? We have our own sawmill, and I intended it for the purpose of having somewhere to sell the wood if we wanted to. So 47, have to buy that as well. And then for 56, 56 and 80, they split it. Maybe? I don't know. Because it was split. Maybe we just ate up 81. But anyways, we're going to buy that as well. So that means that all of that is ours now. So we've got all the property just like we did in 22. And then what we're going to need to do is, no, we never had that one. So we'll leave that one. And now we just have to do some adjustments. So if we go to, we might as well start right on up. Oh, calm down. Right there, enter vehicle. There we go. So we did connect these fields, and then there's another field that we took some trees down. And actually, you know what? We might as well start at the trees. That's the boring part over there. So over here is the trees right there. Enter vehicle. There we go. So let's get all these trees all dropped, and then we can expand the field the way we did in 22. All field work is done. That's it. Well, field modifications, I should say, not field work. It's never done. Field 49, 48 has been put together. I did the little entrance like I did in 22. I don't know why I did in 22, but we're doing it again. So we did that. We still have to clean up the field, but that's okay. We got that all finished up. And then for the trees and field 56, the expansion and the connection, that is all done. Now the trees got cut down. Yeah, we cut down the trees. Good Lord, nature. We cut down the trees, and we found that actually the ghosts would stay of the trees. So I don't know if that's because we haven't reloaded the map like we're supposed to, or it's just something. But once we saved and reloaded and came back in, it was everything was fine there. So we got that all expanded on and connected. That's all good. Got it cultivated up, cleaned up, nice. So field wise, that's all done. We don't have any more modifications to do. All that is completed. And we, technically speaking, let's just go here. So technically speaking here, and we're not. Oh, see, sweet. We don't have to worry about it. In 22, we cleared all of this out and we replanted it with just regular base game pine. So here you go. It just starts, and I think that actually is pretty darn close to the way it was set up. So that's kind of nice there. And then we didn't touch anything around there. And we didn't own a sawmill, but we did own everything else. Not technically, we did own everything else. Let's check it out, because last but not least, that is it, right? So we have everything purchased. We have all of our farmland purchased. That's done. Everything's connected. Everything's good. That's great. So the last but not least is our production. So we do have everything that we do own. And on the map, we did pick everything up. So let's just go ahead and pick it up. So bakery, where are we? Bakery here. And we're going to get this in every single one. So it doesn't matter how much it is. It gets purchased. Carpentry is next. Where are we going here? This one for 60,000. Okay. And cereal. There. That one's 240,000. Dairy is, where are we? Over here. Because that was the goal. Everything on the map, right? The goal for this was everything on the map. All productions. We have all base game productions, all crops, animals, productions, you name it. We have it. Now, it's going to be a little different in this regard, because we don't have the ability to buy the BGA in this map. Now, if you are running the new map, please let me know, like with the new save required. If you're running that, please let me know if you can buy a ready to go BGA, because here, let's just grab, last but not least, is our spinnery. Let's pick that up, and then I'll show you what I mean here real quick. 60. Now, when it comes to the BGA, is 11 right there. So if we visit it, We can see there is a VGA, but we can see we can biogas. We have that. We have the ability. I don't know if okay. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it just because technically we didn't own it, so we don't have to worry about it. So that means we are officially. Oh my word, are we? Can I say it? We are officially pretty much done. We have everything. We have everything done. We have everything. Let's just get here. Got the farm in. Decorations in again. We're at okay, so we're at 2,909 slots, and we also have the vehicles too, right? So now the vehicles, we'll worry about those in a second because I think at this point now we are ready for our finances. So let's get a look at their. So this is our final. We'll take our. We was a little premature on that other screenshot, so we'll grab this one and then we'll grab that one. Awesome. All right. Well, now that we have the current, now what we need to do is go right back to August. Hold on, hold on. Before we move back, we got to move forward a second here because that's the first thing. We keep reloading into this thing, so that's going to go against our costs as well. So let's just get rid of that and see how much that will be. $34,000. Yes, please. Thank you very much. And then when it comes to the actual costs of the farm, I just want to make sure. So, oh no, not sell, not sell. So I just want to make sure when it comes to the finances that everything's all said and done for here, where we've got. So before we do, because we're going to move forward just to finalize any costs that have incurred. So sorry, bear with me here. I'm trying to cover all my bases here. So we're just gonna sleep through the night, and yep, 8 o'clock's good enough. And hopefully it's not raining. Okay, whew, fingers crossed. It's nice and sunny. And survey says, oh, I think we're okay. Oh, it says rain on the horizon. That's okay. So yeah, property maintenance, that means property income, that means nothing. Okay, but that means that we're in the zeros. So now we have April is on our last and May is all clear. So now we have our final numbers of what we have. And there it is. So let's just take a quick screenshot right here. And then we'll take a screenshot of the bottom one, but we'll get to that in a second here too. So there we go. Take that shot. Perfect. Okay, now we'll go back to August. Here we are, back at the beginning. So I got screenshots of the costs as we went. Now, here's the disclaimer. So the first and foremost thing is that a bunch of stuff is not going to be counted. So the first thing is new vehicles, sold vehicles. Those aren't to be counted. The reason being for that, going to try to run down this quick, is that it could be done by anything. You could do the transitions with an ATV. You can do the transitions with a big ass tractor. It's up to you. You could plow the fields with a one furrow plow. You can plow the fields with a modded cultivator that's 24 meters that will create new fields. So when it comes to the new vehicles, sold vehicles, any kind of vehicle costs is absolutely null and void for our costs just because there's no need for that. Now, the new livestock sold animals, same thing. That was there just for showcase purposes where we showed what the animals look like in their pen and then we took them away because we didn't earn them, we didn't bring them in as it, so that's not a cost to the farm. Same thing with the property maintenance and the property income. The property income is just from the government subsidy signs, so all that does is just give us the money to be able to do what we need to do. Now also too, when it comes out, we took the two screenshots because there is the two spots. So on this lower half, we have our seed costs, fertilizer costs, sapling costs, and then we have our miscellaneous and loan and wage. Again, none of that costs affect us. The only thing that will cost to affect us will be the sapling costs, but not this month, not in August, because this was solely for testing purposes for seeing what would take for our warehouse. So again, any of these costs don't matter. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in the cost for our saplings when it came to our tree farm. But from here on out, I'm only going to be concentrating on this top section here, where all we're going to be looking at is our construction costs, our sold buildings, and our land purchase. Now, the sold buildings, that's going to be taken in with a grain of salt just because there is going to be stuff that we're going to be putting down and we're going to be taking up. And this is where the reason why I'm going to be including this is because technically we spent the money to drop the building, but we also got the money back if we decided not to keep it. And even though there may have been a loss, we still got money back. So that's why we're going to just be including, that's why we are going to be including the sold buildings. And we're also going to be doing the land purchases, because land purchases, we got to purchase land, construction costs, production purchases, that is under construction costs as well. So let's do some math, shall we? Before we do, we're not going to be counting November. I just forgot about that. Now, the reason we're not going to be counting November is I don't know what time I took the screenshot. I don't know if I took it in the morning. I don't took it in the evening. I don't know if I took it in the afternoon in the game. So with that being said, that's why we pushed the month forward. So right now, all we're going to be doing is the math for August, September, and October. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be counting, we're going to be adding each column up in total and then doing the subtraction at the end. Just make it easier for myself because I can't do this really good. Calculator and everything. Oh, here we go. So August, September, October. August, $258,299 plus $3,636,819 plus $2,015,249. So my math says that's $5,910,367,000. Now, sold buildings, that is our 98,500 plus our $523,964 plus our 619,450, and that gives us hopefully a total of $1,241,914. And our land purchase is our, now we didn't purchase any land at the beginning because we had to how did we sold build? Oh, that's right. We had our starter farm. That's right. So no purchase of the land, and we just slapped down our government subsidies, and then we bumped right into September. So yeah, so no further purchase until September, which is at 375,048, and October, which is 140,784, which gives me a grand total of $515,832. So that is our grand total for August, September, October. So now what we're going to do is we're going to push forward to the next screenshot here, which has our October, still has the October, just so we know we're on the same screenshot for myself as well as for you. And then we have our February, which we're not going to be counting. Now we have we have our numbers from our last edition, so we have all of those ready to go right there. And then now what we're going to be adding for the construction costs. So it'll just be the $782,778 plus the $793,875. And that gives us a grand total of $1,576,653. So then that's going to be added on to our construction costs. So that'll be added on to the $5.9 million, which now gives us a grand total of $7,487,020. Then our sold buildings. So our sold buildings is the 180,177 plus the $80,440, and that gives us a grand total of $260,617. And then we add that to the $1.2 million, which then gives us a grand total of $1,502,531. And then moving on to our land, we have our $439,344. And then we made mad purchases in January there where we got $6,126,720. So that gives us a grand total of those months for $6,566,064. And then adding that to our $515,000 now gives us a grand total of $7,081,896,000. All right, so we got that. Now it's time to move on to the next screenshot. So now this is the kind of the last one. So we have January in the first column. We've got May, which is the one we didn't do anything for. But what we're going to do is we're just going to go down to the bottom of the list here real quick, because our property income right there is at $2,401,093. So now if we go to the lower screenshot, we've got the $2,401,093 right there, the property income. So it's still the same one. So I'll make sure I kept track for myself too. And then you can see we've spent $43,000 on sapling costs. So this is where I am going to bring this $43,000 into our construction costs, which means our $7,487,020. We're going to be adding the $43,000 to that, which now makes it $7,530,020. Now, for this last count, this is where it changes a bit, just because obviously we had our March is the update. So the March was the update. That was why I separated the costs, just because we totaled them up, we figured out how much it costs to fix the map after the update, but that wasn't part of the build. That shouldn't have been part of the build. So we're going to completely strike March off the records, and all we're going to be doing is adding up our February and our April for our final little tally here. So for our construction costs are $2,748,394 plus our $934,939, which that gives us total of $3,683,333. So now we add that to our construction cost total, which is onto the 7.5, which now gives us a total of $11,213,353. Awesome. And then when it comes to our sold buildings, so the sold buildings is our 70,000 plus our $142,000. So that gives us a grand total of $212,749. And then we add that to our current total, which was the 1.5 million, which now gives us a total of 1,715,280. And then our land purchase there, so that's the $431,040 on top of our $1,842,422. That gives us a grand total of of $2,273,462. Now, adding all of that up, which means our land is now at $9,355,358,000. All right, now that is the total initial. Let's do our final total. A little bit of a better background. And I'm still plastering all this up all over here, but here we go. So our construction cost total at $11,213,353. And we have our sold buildings. Now that sold buildings at $1,715,280. Now that is a return, right? So we're going to subtract that we're going to subtract the sold buildings from our construction costs, which gives us a total for $9,498,073. Now we get our our land purchases, and for $9,355,358, and we add those together, which gives us a actual grand total major of $18,853,431. There we go. $18 million farm. Because I will say it's a little bit of well, it's definitely a highball, just because we're definitely a highball estimate, just because of the fact that, especially when it comes to putting buildings down, putting fences down, and then deleting fences. You put a building down, you exit the menu, you go back into the menu, you pick the building up, it's half the price. So you have that loss there. And I was very, very open about that. I didn't care about doing it because I didn't want to be very tight. I wanted to be very open about highball it. I want to make sure that we can easily say. So I mean, even right now, $18.8 million. We can say it's a $20 million farm, right? With easily $20 million, you could probably cover it, because I did a lot of mistakes. And there's some stuff that we put down I didn't like. We got out of the menu, we checked it out, we weren't so fond of. So that's where, when it comes to the cost-wise, we got to just take that, because even doing that, I know that I did it often enough that we should take note of it. So I didn't. I mean, that would have been too much for me to try to keep track of how much we would have lost. But for the sake of argument, it is something that should be mentioned. And oh, hello, grass. Okay, I said a little bit of grass in there today. Some cracks in the concrete, apparently. Now we are all done that. So that's $20 million. Let's say $20 million farm. We'll say $18 million farm, and that's it. That's ours. It's all ready to go. Now, when it comes to time wise, let's just check something here real quick. There we go. That is it. Not tree, time played 56. Oh, good time to stop. All right, so 56 hours on the dot. And I could easily say with the testing and stuff like that, I can confidently say that we can maybe put that to 60 hours. So we'll say 56 hours on the books, but we'll say 60 hours to make that. And there we go. That's our farm is our farm now. Now, when it comes to the next step, that's the grand, I keep wanting to say grand. So our grand finale, our grand tour, our grand, end. So when it comes to the final tour, I want to have the farm fully grown in the sense of the trees mainly. Now, when it comes to the fields, we're not going to have the fields grown. They're just going to be cleared up and plowed up, just because for the trees to be fully grown, they have to be, as we found out in the logging depot or the tree farm video, that it is 10 years. It's about 10 years to have everything all fully grown in the trees. So with the tree farm. So we're going to push the farm forward 10 years. That in turn will be making our fields turn into just a sea of weeds. So we're going to have to clean up the weeds, but we'll get them all cleared up. But the downside to it, which, I mean, not downside too big, because again, we survived the update in a very minimal way, but these little spots right here in front of us here. So that's the thing when it comes to this stuff, is right by the edges, without allowing fields, then the plows, the subsoilers, the cultivators, deep and shallow cultivators, nothing cleans them up on certain edges. Some got cleaned up, some didn't, but that's okay. So all I have to do is I just have to run around to certain fields and clean them up with the actual plow, which is something we can do. I can run the AI for the main fields and then run around and do the touch-ups while they're doing that. So that'll clean up the fields. Then when it comes to the slot count, because that means we have to keep all of our equipment. So we can't touch anything when it comes to the slots, because we've got a whack load of equipment, plus we've got all of this stuff from testing. Some of this stuff is something that we would never use necessarily either. So I just want to make sure that it's off of the slot counter. So I am going to be doing a little bit of fumbling around there, and we're going to make sure that we can store them away somewhere. Now, if we can't store them away, let's say that it's something that won't take, what I will do is I will bring in a sell-all, and I will get the sell-all to just take everything that isn't able to be sold on map, and or sold or stored, right? So it's all about slot count. And then once that's all done, the farm's all grown, then what we can do is we can sell off the equipment, because technically speaking right now we're at 2,893 slots of 3,500 slots. Now, we did go down a little bit just because we did sell the farmhouse, plus also not only that, we also have equipment all over the map, right, so to speak. We've got that stuff, that truck right there. We got this one, that one, we got this one, got this one. Now, I know in this instance right here, this is a situation where, yes, technically we did have this in the game in 22, but I want to have the farm build, or the final video, have us have the ability to, or not an ability, but I want to see the final. I want to see the actual slot count. That I think maybe we'll keep the truck. We'll just keep the truck there to drive around and be able to check things out. And we'll be able to go up to the tree farm and up the sawmill and go take a look at everything there. Because, I want it as close to just our building as we can make it. And then with that being said, what we could do is, I have an idea. So what I'm still really, really, really intrigued into whether or not we can actually get all of the equipment that we need to run the farm. Like, do we have enough slots? Because we're going to be pushing 700 slots or so, maybe 800 slots available, which to me it sounds like plenty. I feel like it sounds like plenty, but on the same hand too, it's also one of those situations where maybe it's not. I'm not too sure. So what I'd like to do, because we're doing really good, that it's every Saturday. So the next episode is going to be coming out. It should be a week from today, which will be January 31st. So January 31st is going to be the big tour. We're going to do the big tour video. It's going to be an empty farm, because we're going to slot counts again. And then having the slot counts, and that'll have us ready for a Sunday live. So maybe what we should do, what I'd like to do, is do a live stream of us loading up the farm with equipment and seeing if we can get it done. Do we have enough slots to get it done? Do we have enough slots to keep everything, or do we not? And regardless of that, that means I would love your help, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be selling everything off. So I want to start fresh. Like I said, because we had that Volvo and bucket up in 22, doesn't necessarily mean I want to have it 25. I'd love to have, we've done a recreation of 22 in the build. I'd love to have a start fresh with equipment. And that means mods too. Sure, we have, the base game mods, but I am going to be bringing some of my own mods in, but I'd love to hear from you if there's some specific mods you'd love to see come in and run this farm. And we need everything, right? We need small tractors, big tractors, old tractors, new tractors. We need all tractors. We need all equipment. We need everything. The only thing that I ask is it has to be console friendly. Has to be on PlayStation and Xbox there, so console friendly, please. And then on top of that, I need the mod's name and the modder's name too, because there are a couple mods out here that are on console that have the exact same name. So if there are that you have any idea, let me know. If you got pictures of them, by all means, hop into my community there and post up a picture of the mod that you think we should have in live. I think that would be a great idea to see if we can bring some stuff in. So if you post up early enough, I can get all of that stuff in, and we can maybe set up for maybe we can actually do a February 1st load up live stream and see what kind of equipment we can get and whether or not we have enough slots, because that's the main thing, is whether or not we have enough slots to get in, that I'm really worried about. But until then, I can't do anything until the farm's fully grown, right? So once the farm's fully grown, let's go sneak it. Which way do we go? Let's go back this way. There we go. Once the farm's fully grown, the trees are all up and ready to rock and roll. Then we'll have all the equipment cleared out. We'll have all the fields cleared of the weeds, as well as open back up to where they're supposed to be. And we're going to get everything all tickety-boo. And then after that, we can load up the farm. Oh boy. I am super, super excited. So that's it. We have our 18,853,431 farm. Yes, this is going to be great. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for coming along all the way. And I really hope we see you next week.